Welcome in, everybody. I have some breaking news to go over. If you're a fan of Algorand, you might want to take a seat. You might not want to be standing up. If you're familiar with Ripple and the case with the SEC as it was ruled a security, Algorand, along with 5 other cryptocurrencies, was listed by the SEC as securities, and it's the list can continue to grow. It says it is not done. So it's an unexclusive list, basically. So this list is going to get bigger. But I also have a video to show you where Gary Gensler himself promoted Algorand. So is Gary Gensler going to be fired? Will Gary Gensler be fined? Is Gary Gensler going to face jail time for promoting a unregistered security? So this is some breaking news. So again, if you're a fan of Algorand, this might explain why the price has been stuck, and it's right around 22 cents right now. It's severely underperforming the market. So we'll see if what exactly is going on with Algorand. So make sure you hit that like button, and I will get to this right after I play the intro. But again, this is the breaking news. Algorand listed by the SEC as a security.
Governance is tough. You could create Uber or Lyft on top of a blockchain technology today. Well, maybe in 5 years you could. It would have the performance. Sylvia McCally's Algorand, who's a Turing Award winner at MIT that I work with. Sylvia's got a great technology that has performance. You could create.
Good morning. 9:55 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Tuesday, April 18th, 2023. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. So as you heard Gary Gensler himself, I work on Algorand, or I have worked along, or he's working with Algorand as he promoted it. So will Gary Gensler face a fine, jail time, or be fired for promoting an unregistered security? And not just that, working alongside. If the SEC labels Algorand and 5 other tokens as securities in Bittrex lawsuit, what does that mean? Gary Gensler himself promoted Algorand, so I would like to know what that means. He promoted it saying MIT came up and all this other stuff, promoting why it was a good idea, and saying he worked with, or worked on, I should say. So let's go through this real quick. The Securities and Exchange Commission categorized 6 cryptocurrencies as securities in the lawsuit against the crypto exchange Bittrex on Monday, highlighting them as potentially pivotal assets in an enforcement action against a Seattle-based firm. The crux of the SEC's complaint against Bittrex is that the platform failed to register with the watchdog as an exchange, broker-dealer, or clearing agency, a requirement for offering securities. So, sorry about that, I had to go check on my son real quick. But the crux of the SEC's complaint against Bittrex is that the platform failed to register with the watchdog as an exchange, broker-dealer, or clearing agency, a requirement for offering securities to customers in a manner regulated by the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. In order for that to be true, the SEC needs to establish that at least one of the tokens made available by Bittrex is indeed a security. And although SEC Chairman Gary Gensler has claimed the label applies to everything but Bitcoin, the agency has honed in on 6 specific coins in this latest action. The tokens listed as examples of crypto asset securities are OMG Network, Dash, Monolith, TKN, Naga, NGC, Real Estate Protocol, IHT, and Algorand, ALGO. The agency even says there will likely be more, describing the lineup as a non-exhaustive list. Of the tokens included in the lawsuit, Algorand is by far the largest by market capitalization, with a total value of around $1.6 billion. According to CoinGecko, over the past day, the token has fallen 4% to 22 cents as of this writing, but the whole crypto market fell with that. We'll take a look at the technical analysis to see exactly where Algorand is set up as well at the end of this. Algo did not respond immediately to requests, blah, 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 but this is the exact same thing that Ripple is going through. And as I showed you in the beginning was the video. Show you one last time before we actually take a deeper look into the charts with Algorand. And then, as you've seen, the SEC has filed. But this is what Gary Gensler said about Algorand. I'll play it one more time.
Governance is tough. You could create Uber or Lyft on top of a blockchain technology today. Well, maybe in 5 years you could. It would have the performance. Sylvia McCally's Algorand, who's a Turing Award winner at MIT that I work with. Sylvia's got a great technology that has performance. You could create Uber on top of it. The question is then who would update the software?
So, I mean, if the SEC is saying that Algorand is a security, why is he promoting it? Why did he say he's worked on or with Algorand? He's the SEC chairman. Doesn't seem to make much sense. None of the 6 tokens issuers are named as defendants in the Bittrex lawsuit, and the SEC has not announced any separate charges against them as of Monday. The legal tactic bears a similarity to the inclusion of coins in other lawsuits brought by the SEC. So, I mean, as we know, Ripple is the most pronounced one. It strikes me as very similar to the Y case, he said, referring to the SEC's insider trading lawsuit brought against former Coinbase product manager Izan Y and 2 others last year. They're making claims that tokens are securities without suing the actual tokens themselves. The tokens named in the SEC's case against Y are an entirely different cast of cryptos compared to those names in the Bittrex lawsuit, but the overreaching idea is that they all fall under the classification of securities using the Howey test, and as that's stemming from a 77-year-old lawsuit concerning a Florida citrus grove. But we already know what the Howey test is because of the Ripple case. But I'll read it over one more time. The Howey test is the SEC's 4-pronged method for determining whether an asset is a security, which involves the investment of money in a common enterprise with a reasonable expectation of profits to be derived from the efforts of others. The lack of the overlap between coins in the Y case and Bittrex lawsuit could be a result of the SEC not trying to put its eggs all in one basket. Fireblock's chief legal and compliance officer Jason Algranti told Decrypt, each case, depending on the defendants want to do, is a potential test case. He said there's probably assets they feel pretty strongly meet the definition of a security, and I guess they're kind of picking from the list and sprinkling them in as they go, about in different cases. In terms of Algorand, the SEC claims that the Algorand Foundation constitutes a common enterprise based on the not-for-profit organization's alleged role in conducting and promoting an initial token sale of Algo in 2019. In promoting the Algo token sale, the Algorand Foundation tied the potential growth of the Algorand blockchain to potential demand for the Algo token itself and to its own commitment to preserving a price floor for Algo, the lawsuit states. The lawsuit notes that Algo was added to Bittrex international and U.S.-based platforms in April 2020. Additionally, the SEC claims that statements made by Algorand and the network's foundation led Algo investors to reasonably expect to profit from Algorand Inc.'s and the Algorand Foundation's effort to grow the Algorand protocol. Now, here's where I find all this horseshit. If you're investing in something, even gold and silver, it's not 100% guaranteed that you're going to profit in any given amount of time. For example, if you buy something in 2020, maybe in 2023 you lost money, but by 2027 you made 1,000%. Who's to say the fucking time period? If you bought silver in 1970, it's worth more than it is now, or 1980. Insider trading? I mean, what do you want? It's manipulation of markets. But that whole line of stuff, that always irritates me. So, additionally, the SEC claims that statements made by Algorand and the network's foundation led Algorand investors to reasonably expect to profit from it. So, we already see this. When speaking about the SEC's case against Y, Policy Counsel as the Blockchain Association, Marissa Tashman-Koppel, previously told Decrypt the case could have huge implications on the industry, potentially implicating other exchanges and venues that facilitate the sale of unregistered securities. So what does this mean for the crypto exchanges going forward? I mean, it's just another slap in the face to crypto investors. So now that we see this, let's take a look at the Algorand chart real quick, and then we're going to take a quick look at XRP and how they tie you in the bullish bullshit, even if it's still bearish, and vice versa. And I'll show you 2 different charts that illuminate that point perfectly in just a second. So Algo's at 2242, up about 1.49%. It had a bit of a hiccup here with the rest of the market. Like I said, it wasn't because of that news, it was the rest of the market. But we're above the 200-day right now in the 1 hour. Looks like we could have created a W reversal on the breakout point. We broke out, and then we had to consolidate down, and we hit it perfectly at about 2175 area. It was the breakout in the pattern formation. We're retesting it, and if this holds, it'll be a very big breakout. But right now, our key is we want to get back over this 23.5 cents, try to break up and out. But at all costs, we don't want to get back into this formation underneath this 2170. So make sure you're paying attention to that and monitor your risk here, especially with the fact that the SEC has named Algorand as an unregistered security, which the SEC holds no bounds, especially when Gary Gensler himself promoted Algorand and worked on as he stated. So this is what we'd be looking at. Make sure you're watching this because in the 20-day, we're still over the 223 right now. So that's your first sign that something's gone really wrong. If we lose that and then ultimately we lose the 217, I probably wouldn't be in any longer because we would have to come down farther. And that could meet us back down to some underneath support down at around the 21 or even the 18-cent mark. So just pay attention to that very closely. But the main news there is the Algorand ruled an unregistered security. And then XRP very quickly here. XRP, depending on which chart you look at, you could say we're very bullish or that it's actually looking very bearish until we break out. Like right here, this is where everybody will say XRP's on a very bullish looking momentum. We broke out of this pattern formation in the short term, which is true. And now we need to get over 52.22 and hold and ultimately try to push up to that 558 and then 585 double top. But what they're not telling you is the 526 or 527 level, which is actually a pattern formation breakdown in a much larger time frame. And all I simply need to do is go to my other chart because I've done it both ways so that you guys can see the fudsters and the truthers. So right now, this is, as you can see in a longer time frame, we actually broke down out of this pattern formation, and now we're back testing it as resistance. If this holds as resistance, this is a very bearish formation, and it'll bring us down to 494. So that's what we need to actually pay attention to, and not just the fact, or it'll bring us down to 50 cents first, but not just the fact that, hey, we're on top of a very short-term pattern breakout. I mean a short-term pattern breakout. The longer term, the fact is we're retesting a breakdown. So pay very close attention to who you trust. And if you got anything out of this update, make sure you hit that like button. And also subscribe to the channel and join the more than 16,100 subscribers. If you're looking to trade your favorite cryptos, if you want to send a donation, or you want to join Tom's Army, that's all in the video description below. And as far as exchanges, there's 2 of them that you don't have to pay spot fees, and you can futures trade up to 250x long or short in the market. That's BITGET and or MXC, and that's in the video description below and or pinned comments. Make sure you're paying very close attention to this breaking news. Hashtag be better, do better.